Okay, YouTube says we're live. We'll have to take its word for it. It's always a good thing to take YouTube's word for anything, but we ain't got a lot of choice in the matter. Let's straighten up our camera a little bit. You know, I've been shooting videos all morning. Had the camera centered. I go to YouTube, camera's off over here. Same camera. I don't know. You tell me. Anyhow, we'll try to get the center of the screen. Maybe that's a little better. Okay. Well, looks like Mr. Intense is here. How you doing, buddy? I'll hang around a minute. Hang out a minute and see if anybody else is going to come. But I'll tell you what now, it was like Christmas around here last night because my package from Fast Tech finally got here. Hey, Adrian, how you doing? And we got just boxes of stuff. I've been shooting videos all morning. Yeah, still going. Oh. All morning. I got to say, this little sub box, hell of a name. I just got the little tank it come with, and one of God knows what coils those are. But anyhow, I'm liking this little thing. It's working great. Yeah, it's working great so far. And couldn't beat the price. It's $26. And I had a coupon that knocked it to 25, I think. So, you know, come on. Really enjoying that. And the video we're in the process of shooting at the moment, I had to stop to do this live, but it's this XRP tank is the one I'm working on now, and it has so many it's like a sub box. It's got so many damn different configurations. Shit, the video's gonna be an hour and a half long. As I tried it with the Vupu coils, worked great. I was happy with it. Now I got just a little plain round wire build in it. Got it set mouth alone. Working good for me. Working good. Been a long time since I actually vaped real mouth alone. But it's got just it's kind of like that sub box. It's got a bunch of different configurations. And hell, the price on it was only $17. Daytime Frank, how you doing there, buddy? We're just going over the Christmas list that got in last night. All my new stuff. I done got the hiccups because I've been vaping too much. Thorough review them, yeah. Oh, we also got the little Skyline clone. I ain't even took it out of the box yet. I don't even know what the hell I basically done forgot what the hell it looks like. But it's going. And I also got this these smart coil rebuildable kits for the Vupu coils. And you know, we'll see how them work. I hope them work good, because you know, I used to do, when I built my own rebuildable deals way back in the day, back in the Kanger days, you know, I would do 10 at a time. And because I didn't want to sit down and do just one. Because to me, if you're going to, even on these, if you're just going to sit down and do one, then you might as well just be putting cotton in a deck, you know? So my idea is, and these are relatively cheap, you know, get about 5 of them. And, you know, once you figure out which mesh you like, you know, build you up about 5, just have them sitting there. And then, if you need a coil, just go grab your coil, stick it in. And once you get, say, 4 of them at least, maybe you're on your last one. When you put your last one in, okay, then sit down and rebuild the other ones. Do them all at one time. I don't like doing the one at a time stuff, And these aren't but $5 for a whole kit. So I may do that. If I like the way this turns out, I'll just buy me 4 or 5. And that way I'll have, 4 or 5 coils already built up. And you don't have to just do the one at a time thing. And let's see. Wonder if Josh is going to show up today. He was the one recommended this Mech Life. And I think he did really good. I'm really happy with it. So I watched some videos, and a lot of people weren't happy with this. They said it didn't give no flavor, but I'm not encountering that. And I definitely didn't encounter it when I had the Vupu coil in it. I mean, it was fine. Of course, I'm using my juice. I'm not using store-bought juice. Maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. We'll see. And so far, I'm really happy with this sub box. I just wish they'd make one that had a 21700 battery. But so far, I'm real happy with it. I mean, for $26, if the damn thing vapes, you really can't go wrong. That's better. I wonder if that was what? If you're talking about the Adrian, you talking about the Mech Life, the XRP? Is that what you're asking about? Right now, what's in there is the single coil mouth to lung deck or mouth to lung pin that has a little adjustment thing on it, and we got it set to 1.4 and with a plain round wire coil, plain Jane round wire coil, 2.5 millimeter, and it's fine. I think it's fine for that. I mean, taking consideration that it's a plain round wire coil, it's it's fine. I mean, yeah, that's for me. It's fine. Now, if you put a mouth to lung Clapton in there, well, hell, it's going to give you more flavor. But I don't see a fault with the tank or anything. Along that line, I don't see any fault there. I mean, it's giving me the same amount of flavor I'd get from almost any tank with that coil in it. It's just plain Jane round wire. Put a little mouth to lung Clapton in there, and hell, you'll almost double the flavor. You about have to get more flavor with a Clapton coil. It's been my experience. I don't know. But we did get, and it'll be in the video, be the last thing I do. We did buy the little dual coil deck for it also. It's a separate purchase, but we picked that up too. I think this will actually fit my preferred style of vaping a little better. But the next thing in the video lineup is we're going to take the mouth to lung pin, 510 pin out, and positive pin out, and put the direct lung one that come in the kit in it, and put that in there. Of course, now when I do that, I won't put a round wire. I'll put a Clapton coil in it, and because to me that's what you would normally do. I mean, I wouldn't expect to direct along a round wire coil. You can only get so much out of those things. Well, out of one of them. So, yeah, I'll put a Clapton coil in it, but I always like to test them with a round wire just to kind of give you a baseline to go by. But for, I don't know what they were complaining about. I really don't. Seems fine to me. Of course, it may have been the juice they were trying. This juice here is pretty strong tasting. It's a peach custard type sugar cookie configuration, and it's pretty good, but it's pretty strong. It's not a real weak flavored juice. It's a real mouth to lung vape. Of course, I'll show it in a video. When I first started, I had the airflow set to the slot. The big slot had it wide open because, the adjustments are right up under the coil. But it whistled like hell. But when I turned it around to the hole and set the hole to the corresponding how I had it set internally, the whistle went away. And now it's fine. But daytime Frank, all you got to do is double the amount of flavoring and triple the amount of super sweet, and it'll come out all right. And if all else fails, drown it with WS-23. That seems to be what most people do. Yeah, if it don't taste right, just throw some WS-23 in it. It'll be all right. That's what all the disposables and the pod systems seem to be doing. I don't really understand that, but I don't know. They seem to be going down the iced roads. They're all iced. I ain't quite understood that, but I guess, they're appealing to the people that never did smoke crowd, and they may want that. Surely they got some reason for doing it. But to me, if I don't want it iced, I just don't put ice in it. If I don't want that menthol ice, that cooling effect, I don't put any in there. I damn sure don't put it in every damn juice. But a lot of these disposables now, they all come that way. A lot of them come. All their juices are iced. So I don't know. I don't do disposables, so. I like the cooling on certain flavors if I'm in the mood for cooling. I mean, I do just a plain watermelon, iced watermelon, you might call it. Of course, I probably add more WS-23 than most people do. Because, if I want that effect, I want that effect. I don't just want a hint, But I do a raspberry, iced raspberry or iced watermelon. To me, either one of those works fine, and I used to use those at work, and because they were, especially in the summertime, you want something a little bright, something cool, But I don't put it in every damn thing. Well, it looks like if y'all been keeping up with the news, it looks like Jewel is getting down on two knees and giving the government a good old blow job and a handful of money while they're doing it so they can stay in business. And of course, they're big tobacco, so ain't no big deal to them. Hell, they've been doing that. They've been, doing that for years, and they're still making millions of dollars every year. It's just like, when a lot of big companies, you'd be amazed how much a million here or a million there. They don't care. It's like, it's the cost of doing business. Let's roll on. But yeah, the only problem is, if the government, our government, put it that way, is they'll get used to Juul, which is the way I understand it's owned by Altria or however the hell you say that name. Well, they'll get used to them coughing up a whole slew of money. Well, then they're going to expect everybody else to do the same thing. And a lot of the other little companies, they ain't got the funds for that. Now, if they put them on a sliding, rule that okay, if you make this much gross, then you cough up this much tithing to the government, then I guess it might be all right. But they, oh no, it ain't brown envelopes. Hell, it's all out in the open. It's like, here's your blood money. We don't care if the public sees it or not. Yeah, that's basically what they got with Juul right now is basically another MSA. Because they've done locked that shit in, the way I understand it, for 10 years. It's this much money every year for 10 years. Of course, it's only a certain number of states. It's not like every damn state is getting it. So, I don't know what these other dumbass states that didn't get on the lawsuit's going to do, because I guess they'll just be left out in the cold unless they get to whining and decide they want some money. Everybody got their hand out. I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. I'll tell you. But that's what I'm afraid of now that, because if one company bends the knee to the government expects all of them to. So, it's just the way shit works over here. It's a mess. It's a mess. Oh, let me ask y'all right quick. I have the air conditioner running in the background. Is it making too much interference noise for you? I can turn it off if it is. I can edit it out of my videos, but I didn't know on the live it might have been too much background noise. It's fine. Okay, good deal. So I think it's supposed to be 105 out here today. We're getting our last little blast of summer before fall comes in. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, buddy? You snuck in. I didn't see you. Yeah, this little sup box is working real good at the moment. Oh, what did I do with that? What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Now, since I got a few experts in here, y'all are more experts than me on this. I want you to look. I asked this in the video, but I'll ask it live. This is the one of the coils that come with that sup box. Let me see if I can get the light now. Does that coil interchange with anything? Is that like an RPM coil or some kind of PNP coil? It's got an O-ring, 2 O-rings on the top, and a bigger O-ring on the bottom. Does that look? Will that interchange with anything? If you if you think. Before I go to the trouble of looking it up, because I'm not up on what coil will go with what. Looks like an RPM. That's kind of what I thought, but I have nothing that uses an RPM coil, so I have none sitting here to compare it to. But if it is, I'll buy one of those. I'll buy one of these little kits that does RPM coils. Yeah, there's so many of them out there that interchange. I'm not up on it because you know. That's Pro Tank. Yeah, that was me till just recently, Mr. Intense. I guarantee you, I rebuilt a jillion of those damn things, but and then I've started just doing the RTAs, you know. And just recently, as I purchased a few things that used coils, or you could buy an RTA unit for it, an RBA unit rather, for it. So I'm not up on any of that. And I've looked at some of the charts that are on the internet, and my God, they're 4 pages long, and smoke fetch coils look the same as that one. Yeah, Adrian, I saw that Nature Vapes review back when it very first come out, and because he does a real thorough review in my book, and I watched a lot of his reviews, and he does a real thorough review. Like I say, I kind of wanted one when it first came out, but I just wasn't going to spend that much money. So I think they were like $70 for the non-DNA ones when they first come out. They were, I think $70. I just held off and waited. But I've looked at. See, I don't know what I do with it. There's. Is it in here? Let me look. No, it's not in here. Anyhow, there are pictures. I guess it might be on the SXK website of a whole lot more configurations for this than most reviewers show, including myself. I mentioned a few that I saw, but there was one configuration that took all this off, and you put a different battery tube in, used an 18350, and I guess it had a different little top plate that went up here too. And it had that configuration, and then it was a picture that showed just the battery tube and a tank with none of this on there, and to me that would be a little bit ugly, because you can see down inside it's not real pretty when you don't have this top piece on. But there's, according to the pictures, there's more configurations to this than what they show, what most reviewers show. And I guess it's probably because they just got the plain kit. But so far, looks like it's doing all right. Of course, I'm sure it'll do. I'll get this baked out. I'll put a tank on it. I had planned on using it to test these other two tanks I got with, but you know, hell, it's vaping so good on this little old coil, whatever kind of coil it is. I hated to mess with it. You know, it's vaping good. Let's vape it. Reddit says RPM compatible. Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So I can get me one of the little RPM rebuildable things, and I'll be good to go. Might want just a tad. I don't know. I'll see what. I don't even know what ohmage that was. I think it was 0.6 is what was in there. The 0.6, and they sent a 1.1 extra with the kit, and that one works fine. So we'll see what the other deal looks like. And see, I don't even remember what this is. That Skyline clone. Hell, I don't even remember what it's supposed to look like. It's kind of pretty. And as usual, nobody puts VG on their O-rings, so they're tight. I'll have to get some latex gloves to get this apart. But it's a little short, small, short Johnny. It'll fit in that sup box thing. And the top, I believe it's top. Yeah, it's top fill. Maybe. I'll take it apart, see how the damn thing works. Oh, wow. This screwing. Well, 10 minutes later, I got that screwed off. What does this do? Oh, I have no idea. A little bit elaborate there. Oh, well. Let's save that for the review. But it's a pretty little thing. Anyhow. Of course, it comes in the little clone box. So I'll only have to do one review. I won't have to edit it specifically for YouTube. I can't get in trouble just showing that little plastic box. Oh, yeah, the Wankel. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Wankel engine. Yep, I remember that. Funny how they never really developed that any further. I don't know what all the entails about it, but you know, there was a lot of conspiracy theories going around back then of people inventing just plain old carburetors that got hellacious gas mileage, and you know, every time somebody would, oil companies that come buy the patent to it and buy it out, or so they couldn't produce them. So, I don't know. I know there was a lot of conspiracy theories at the time that they were doing that. I don't know, Adrian. I really don't. I personally have never worked on one. The closest, I don't know, the most from U.S. viewpoint, the most non-standard car I ever worked on was a Subaru. I think boxer engine, one where the cylinders went out the side. That's basically the most non-standard car I ever worked on from a U.S. point of view. Yeah, I never. I don't know that I've ever even seen a rotary engine in real life, much less worked on it. Yeah, Subarus are pretty good little cars. They hold up well when people abuse them. The one I worked on, it was up when I lived in Kentucky. The guy that the guy that delivered mail out in the country, he had one, and he bought it specifically, and he had it special shipped over here, I think, because he wanted a right-hand drive one because of the mail route, because for some reason it made it easier to deliver the mail because he could just pull over and not have to, turn around, change directions or whatnot, or lean across the seat or any of that, or be on the wrong side of the road. So he had a right-hand drive one, which that's the only one I've ever seen in my life. And I drove it. It made me car sick. I got motion sickness. It was so, everything was just so off compared to what you're normally used to seeing and used to dealing with. And I was driving, and I never get car sick if I'm driving, motion sickness. Yeah, but just driving that thing made me, car sick. But he loved it, and hell, it lasted a while. And he beat the hell out of it going down all those old rough roads and shit. Of course, he had the same trouble most people had in that area with that kind of deal, was finding somebody to work on it. And I didn't know shit about them, but I could figure them out. But it was, if you needed a special tool, you was kind of shit out of luck. But just to do I just did the normal maintenance stuff on it for him, tuned it up, and belts and hoses and that kind of thing. I never had to dive off deep into it or anything. But it was weird to drive because it was right-hand drive. For me, it was. That's the only car I've ever seen over here in the U.S. that was right-hand drive. I know a lot of people make the mistake. A lot of the mail carriers, the rural out in the country mail carriers, if they ain't been doing it for a while, they don't go talk to the old experienced ones, and I've seen them make the mistake. They'll go buy a brand new little economy car that they think is going to just for the mileage, and they drag it up and down the gravel roads all day, and it falls apart in the first year, and they're wondering why. It's like, well, it's not really designed for that. And they didn't budget for that, and now they didn't make enough money to buy a car every 2 years. And I've seen a lot of them make that mistake. They thought they were going to get rich delivering mail. Yeah, it didn't happen. Didn't happen. The last place I worked on cars wasn't a dealership. It was just a service center. And we had one customer that had a Subaru. And that was it. And it was pretty wore out. But for out here, that's not unusual. But it was, we had one customer that had a Subaru. Oh, you're talking about the little mail vehicles in town, Lewis? I've never paid any mind to them. I've had to work on some. They would bring them. I think the last place I worked, they had a contract with the local post office, and we had to do the little tune-ups and whatnot on them. The little Jeep-like things, the ones that look like those little bitty Jeeps. They had like a fleet of those. I never did pay no mind if it had a license plate or not. I didn't care. I didn't really like working on them myself. By that time, I'd got kind of old and set in my ways. I didn't care much for certain vehicles. But I wouldn't doubt that. Plus, it's a government, a government entity. So, and it ain't like they, ever really leave town. So, yeah, I don't see why they would need a tag. I'm sure they got a number that identifies the vehicle. Of course, they all got VIN numbers, but I'm sure they got their own little number that identifies it within their fleet. It's just like the government cars, that actually have a plate, but it says government. It's a one-time thing. It ain't like they got to pay anything. It's just to identify the vehicle, more or less. Oh, and that's something else. Our good postal service. Oh my God. All my stuff came in yesterday. Okay. The last 3 or 4 days, I've been checking it because, as long as it was like in Fast Tech's hands, you did hit the tracking deal, and boop, 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 show it. Okay. As soon as it got handed off to our postal service, I got a tracking number. Don't know, can't find it. Sorry, you're shit out of luck. So it's been in the twilight zone for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and still, I checked it yesterday, and they had no idea. No, can't find it. Don't know. Don't care. Leave us alone. That's the feeling you get from them idiots. And of course, I expected it because that's the way they've been ever since COVID. Their tracking just flew out the window when COVID hit. I ain't been able to track nothing in the U.S. Postal deal on their tracking numbers since then. So anyhow, last night it showed up. Here it is. My wife brought it home. She went by. It was in the box, and here's your package. Check the tracking number on it. All that. Hell, that number don't even exist. We don't know. Yeah. So, it's been a total wreck ever since COVID. Beforehand, they were pretty good at it. I mean, they were just right down the line, just like any other tracking thing. But and I don't really understand what the hell COVID had to do with that, because everything still gets scanned. It still gets, the computer didn't catch COVID. I don't understand the deal there. But yeah, ever since then, hell, the tracking, you forget it. And I'm gonna tell you now, some people simply either sit on their phone or sit in front of the computer with the tracking number to their order pulled up, and they just hitting refresh, refresh, refresh. Because back when the last job I had, I was a FedEx delivery driver, and every great once in a while, I might, if I might leave the wrong box at the wrong house. Halftime, I realized it, but when I got to the next stop, because I didn't have the box that needed to go to that stop, it was back here at this house. So I just go back, get it. Most time people ain't home. It's still sitting on the front porch. It's no big deal. I think I might have done it twice in 4 years, So, but let me tell you, when you do it, because when we scan the box and say and we got to say where the hell we delivered it: front door, back door, side door, garage, signature. If you had to get a signature, okay, we have to tell our little scanner all that stuff. Well, most of the time, if I dropped it off at the wrong place, before I would get to the next stop, I would already be getting a call from my boss saying, "Hey, we got a complaint from this customer that you delivered the box and the box ain't there," and da 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 da. And I said, "Yeah, I know. I'm on my way back to get it. I realized I dropped it at the wrong house. I'm already, or I had already went back and got it, and was going to go deliver it to the right house." So it's like instant. If you leave it at the wrong house, oh shit, the damn world's coming to an end. But it amazed me how quick they realized, that their box didn't get delivered, even though it said it had gotten delivered. Yeah, now COVID, that's a built-in excuse, buddy, for the rest of the time. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's it's built in, it's baked in. That excuse is a standard excuse from now till till the end of time. Yeah, Amazon. See, now I think over there, Adrian, your Amazon's a little different than ours. Can you still buy over there? Can you buy like RTAs and mods and whatnot on Amazon, or do they quit selling them over there too? Because I remember the other day I looked. I think the UK's Amazon's a little different than ours, because I was watching Vic video, and he was talking about a camera, and he gave the name of the camera and the model number and all. Said he got it on Amazon recently, and I looked and hunted for 30 minutes. I couldn't find it, and so I'm thinking maybe y'all's is a little bit different. Yeah, see, we can't buy anything over here. There's nothing on Amazon that I know of that is got anything to do with vaping. I mean, my cotton is sold as facial tissues. Now they'll sell me that all day long, but and they'll sell. I think they might sell PG and VG, but of course they sell it for something else. They advertise it for something else. They don't say nothing about vaping in in the advertisement, in the description. Yeah, they're a little more tight ass over here, so they don't get, you know, picketed by the Karens. Yeah, Lewis, I don't buy vape cotton. I buy these little, and it's basically it's Muji cotton is what it is. These little squares, and it looks exactly like Muji cotton, and I think that's what it is. I really think it's even. I think they sell it. I think it says Muji cotton on the deal, but it's sold as makeup removers. You know, works fine for me. Of course, I did that whole video. I don't know if y'all watched it or not on those alternate wicking things. You know, I thought that was interesting. Some of it worked fine. Yeah, we can still buy. I can still get PG and VG all I want from places that sell nicotine, and still get at the moment still get all the nicotine I want. Well, see now, Lewis, actually the one that did the best all around was the bamboo, but it's not bamboo cotton. It is actually bamboo that they've processed into looking like cotton, but it's actually bamboo. It's not bamboo cotton. It's actually bamboo. And the only reason, I mean, it wicked just as good as regular cotton, but it's just the only perk it had over regular cotton was it has a higher flash point. Bamboo has to get hotter before it catches on or it burns. Yeah, I had a brand of makeup remover pads that weren't Muji cotton. They were just, I don't know, they didn't even say what kind of cotton they were. They were just cotton. And to me, they worked better than this Muji. But they, in my local, I think it was a Walgreens or a local drugstore, they quit carrying that brand. And the brand they started carrying didn't work as good. So I bought some of the Muji off of Amazon. But yeah, if you want to try that stuff I had, what did I do with it? I think it's up on the shelf. Anyhow, if you want to try that bamboo stuff that was in the video, you're going to have to go to a place that does a yarn store that sells raw material, because what the lady gave me was the actual raw material that she spins into a yarn, okay, into yarn. And so you're going to have to go to a place that sells that kind of stuff. But now, like I say, it is kind of expensive if you're going to actually buy it. Hey, Neil, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for popping in. We ain't got nothing exciting happening here today. Of course, we did have over here in the U.S., we did have a court rule in our favor of some of the vape companies that were suing the FDA, and the court ruled in our favor, saying that they didn't do what they claimed they were going to do, or something along that line. Anyhow, kind of got them off track. They'll have to go back and regroup, come out with some new regulations or something to screw us with. But it's just a temporary reprieve. It's not no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a temporary reprieve. Yeah, Mr. Intense, all that stuff that lady gave me that you saw in that video was chemical free, non-bleached, because a lot of it was tan in color. It was the natural color of the material, and it was all, because that was that's one of her things about her yarn that she makes. It's all natural, chemical free. And then even when she dyes it, she uses special dyes that aren't toxic, or most people aren't allergic to, or anything along that line. She likes to do the all natural stuff. Back in the day, back in the pro tank days, way back, I got some bamboo string, and because back in them days, you could wick one of them, especially a pro tank one, you could wick it with string, either cotton string or bamboo string or silica string, whatever string you wanted. And I believe got some bamboo string and used it, and it worked fine. Even back that long ago. But it always seemed to me that once we got figured out how to do the fluffed cotton, we call it, just seemed to give a little more taste than the string stuff. But that was a long time ago. But yeah, Lewis, try a place that a yarn store type deal. But you need to find a place that sells the raw stuff, and not just finished yarn. You need a place that sells the what did I do with that stuff? It sells the raw material. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Here's the bamboo. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is basically before it's spun into a string or a yarn. It looks just like cotton, just regular cotton bacon cotton. I mean, it comes in a deal like this, and then it's been combed so that all the strands are running the same direction, but it really reminds you of cotton bacon, but that's what it looks like. And she just takes this, and she's got a spinning wheel, okay, and she peels it off and twists it, spins it, makes yarn out of it. But you got to find a store that sells that, like the raw material before it's spun into a string or yarn. But it worked good. And like I say, I mean, I didn't see how high I could crank it before I burnt the stuff. But if you just look up the normal, flash point stuff, temperature, the bamboo had the highest of any of the stuff we tried on that video. Although none of it, I didn't burn any of it. Even the silk, which had the lowest, didn't burn. So, it vaped, so. No, you're probably going to have to actually go on the internet to find that kind of stuff. Still vaping. Because I'm not sure even a yarn store, if all they do is buy and resell, they're not going to have it. Now, if you find a yarn store where they spin their own yarn there, they can probably have it or get it. Yeah, I thought it was neat. The silk was just neat to say, hey, I'm vaping on silk. I kind of thought that was kind of just neat to say that, but it worked. So, which back in the day, you got to remember, we started vaping on silica. But yeah, that was a long time ago. And, everybody thinks a lot of this stuff is new, some of this stuff. But there was, I forget what company it was, but there was a company that had replaceable coils, throwaway kind, and they used bamboo. I don't know if they used 100% bamboo or if they had cotton in the middle and bamboo around it or something, like some mix or something. But I remember, I forget the name of it, but there was some company way back in the day that used bamboo. But this stuff, I mean, it looks just like cotton. It looks like cotton bacon. Exactly, it's what it looks like. I mean, if you laid the two out side by side, I don't know if you can tell the difference by just looking at it. And I don't know how much to trust some of these companies that make the disposable coils nowadays, because someone will say, well, we're using this and this and this, or a combination of this and this to get you a better vape. Well, how much do you really trust that's the reason they're doing that? Yeah, they're still out there using wood pulp. I heard that just the other day. It was some coil that said, yeah, it's got a little bit of cotton and wood pulp around the outside and all this kind of stuff. And they claim it to give you a better vape, but I don't know that I believe them 100%, because if it's a cheaper product or makes their assembly line run easier and smoother, yeah, they're going to use it. Now the deal with the Anakin coils, these new coils that's got two coils in it, one that kind of just warms up the liquid and then one that vaporizes it. Well, you could say, okay, that it, could give me a better vape. At least it's geared toward giving a person a better vape or making the coil last longer. But I can believe that. But yeah, when the other ones start using some kind of different material, I'm more likely to believe it's just because of the ease of the assembly line and makes it easier on them, or it's cheaper product or something like that. I'm not buying the better vape thing. And I've never even tried or had one of what they call the ceramic coils. I've never had anything that had them. Never tried them. And I don't think any of the drywall in my house came from China. I think it came from, I forget, it's one of those, I forget the name of it. But I'm thinking it was made in the U.S. It was the, one of the name brand sheetrock makers. I call it sheetrock. Everybody calls it drywall. I call it sheetrock. Yeah, Louis, I've never tried those to know. Never had anything that took them. Y'all remember them old the ceramic donut looking things they had one time? I forget. Somebody had a video on it. I forget. God, it's been 100 years ago. They were like little donut like things that heated up instead of a wound coil. Them didn't stay around too long. I never used one. Yeah, I think that was who had it. Rip Trippers had the video on it. I never did look for another video about them, but according to him, they were the best thing since sliced bread at the time. I do think their little ultrasonic technology will probably work if they ever get it developed properly. Stumble on a way to use it. Because I think it would have to just be clean, a cleaner taste, I would think. But who knows if they'll ever, especially now, because we had a whole bunch of research and development going on back in the day when there was quite a bit of money to be had in this industry. But today the money's done dropped off so much, and it's too easy to make a buck with a disposable that. Well, I mean, I don't blame these companies. Adrian, don't say that too loud now. You'll have a Rip Tripper fanboy jump on you like a dog on a bone. That's something else to be, a YouTuber, okay? It's just YouTube, folks. And if you, I mean, how bad does it be? How bad does it have to be for you to be a fanboy of a person that is YouTube famous? Come on. Yeah, Billy Mays. Yeah, Rip used to put out normal videos on how to build stuff, how to make coils, and how to wind the coils. And he even went my route where he didn't buy a coiling jig or a tool. He used a screwdriver. He used stuff he had on hand, and he didn't run out and buy these kits and shit. And then I think when he got, like I say, got YouTube famous and everybody started sending him all the free shit, and I guess it went to his head or whatever. I don't know, but he quit doing stuff like that. But yeah, he used to, wrap coils around a damn screwdriver, around a little Phillips screwdriver, that was a particular size. I used drill bits because they were easier to get a hellacious variety for a little of nothing, as far as money goes. Used little drill bits is what I used back in the day. But I remember him. He used to use just a plain old little Phillips screwdriver and wrap his coil around there, just happy as he could be. And the sickest tits didn't make it to the chat. Oh, I'll say it. I don't care. Yeah, that was his catchphrase. I don't know. And I tell you what now, get back on this kind of YouTube subject. Last night I was rewatching some of these videos for the sup box. Okay. Just so I'd have kind of an idea of, this, that, and what to look for. I wanted to see if people had problems with them, so I could look for the problem. If I had that problem, I nip it in the bud or whatever. Anyhow, I was rewatching a bunch of old sup box videos. Well, here's one from the video was put out from Fastech. It was a Fastech video. It was a presentation video. The whole, it was only maybe 8-10 minutes long. I don't know. But anyhow, the whole length of the video, for the whole length of the video, down here in the corner, let me get it on the screen. Down here in the corner for a good, section of the screen, here's the damn web address. Of course, it wasn't, I don't know that it was clickable or not. It didn't look clickable, but here's the web address, and here's the damn actual link address, wrote out on the screen. And like I said, I don't know if it was clickable because I was watching it on my TV. For the product, www.fastech/ this, that, and then the ID number, you know what I'm talking about, the link on the screen for the whole video. That video's been up for over a year. What the hell, YouTube? I really think they are targeting certain people more. I don't think they're doing ever vapor. I think they're actually targeting certain ones, like they did poor old Matt. Oh, they just, killed him. And a lot of the other, I think it has to do with how many subscribers you got. The more famous you are, the more they're going to, bean you over, because yeah, I think so too, Lewis. I don't know what their criteria is. They got me for age restriction. I had to go back and age restrict all mine, but that was the only warnings I ever got. But yeah, it was, the hell about link in the description. The damn link was on the screen for the whole goddamn video. Really? I'm thinking, really? And then a lot of the videos I watched, also I've been watching some older videos from less famous people, we'll call them, reviewers that aren't, up in the top echelon. Of course, I'm not there either. I don't want to be, if that's the hell I got to go through. But there's still slews of boxes. They're showing the box, URLs on the box, and nobody's saying nothing. Yeah, it's like once they get you in their sights, they won't let go. It's like a damn old snapping turtle. Once they latch on, they don't let go. But it's like, if you're going to do it to one, then do it to all of them. Come on, But that's YouTube. Yeah, I heard Dash Vapes just said, fuck it, left. Wasn't going to start over or nothing. That's the way I heard it. Because a lot of people said, well, you can just start over. Well, I don't think the money's there anymore like it used to be either. Yep, that's pretty good vape. Oh, well, Adrian, that's just, I mean, it's living in the UK, I can understand how you could not really see it real clear. Somebody like me, I could see it coming. That's the reason I never monetized any of my videos. The reason I never tried to get YouTube famous. I originally just put my stuff out there for people to, learn how to rebuild heads on their own, make their own juice, and be self-sufficient and just basically spread knowledge. Plus get the best vape for your least amount of money. That was my whole deal from the get-go. I never ever on any of my videos asked people to subscribe to the channel. I never said that. I never asked for likes or nothing. Now I did ask for rumbles on Rumble because that was something new. So I did, if you like the deal on Rumble, then hit Rumble. It's like hitting a like. But I never, aspired to be YouTube famous. I'm glad now I didn't. But it's there. I mean, you got to realize the company, and you got to realize the people running the company, and they're left wing Karens and bad guys, and that's I mean, it's in California. That's red flag number one, And then you look at the age group that the people running it and owning it. That's flag number two. And then you look at who they voted for. That's flag number three. And so it's like I don't want to play with you guys. I'll just and then for me, hell, yeah, Phil, they got a hold of Phil too, and it's a shame, but I mean, I read the little thing. Some people may not read the fine print, but when I first created my channel way back when, I read the fine print. If you want to monetize it, then you got to get down and suck our dick, and I'm not doing that. And so that was just, was way too many red flags there for all that. And then you read the fine print, it's like, I don't want to do that. So I didn't. Of course, maybe I missed out because maybe I could be YouTube famous now. And, but, I just do it because I enjoy it. It's like the lives. I just do them because I enjoy doing them. It's like the videos. These still do videos. I mean, I like the hobby part of this deal. So I would buy stuff, whether I do a video on it or not. I would still buy stuff, and do the hobby side of it. And so I do videos. To me, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I enjoy sharing information, But because I can still remember. See, when you get old, it's a little different than these young kids. The young kids, like today, young kid, if he looked at the internet back in the early 90s, if you gave them that internet, they wouldn't be able to use it. It was a total different world back in them days. And everything, almost all the information was either free or you could hack it. And you know, so and then like overnight it changed to where they charged for everything. Everything was behind a paywall, which is it's the drug dealer scenario where they give you a little bit free, get you hooked, and they charge you. So yeah, I think a lot of people bought a lot of subs back in the day to get their channel going. And you can still buy them today. You can buy views and subs and everything. No, I don't think we're gonna do no lipstick. Might put some powder. Might do a little makeup powder, to cut back on the shine. But yeah, we ain't doing no lipstick. Yeah, I don't pay for anything, Adrian. Nothing. I like to. Well, I pay for software. Okay, I do pay for that. But even back in the day, if you bought software, you got handed a CD-ROM, that had the software on it, or you got handed a floppy, or you got handed something, So yeah, even though today it's all download, it's still kind of the same thing. You're actually getting something, for your money. But yeah, I don't pay. I don't pay for something unless I can put it in my hand, I might say. But yeah, now everybody's got a Patreon or YouTube member or this, that, and another. I've never had any of that either. Don't want none of it. But yeah, the internet today is a whole lot different than back in the early days. Back in the early days, it was all about sharing information. Now it's all about paying for information. So it's totally different animal. Yep. Let's see what this is. What do you want? What do we got here? Oh, Dash is up 6%. What do? I don't have enough Dash to amount to a hill of beans. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay. First 4 on my subs, the ones I subscribe to. The first 4 videos were disposables and pods, and then we finally got down to a tank, sub-ohm tank, for reviews. I mean, for the people I follow. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, listen, a lot of them bet the farm. What I call betting the farm on YouTube, and went out and bought all this expensive ass equipment, quit their day job, and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I think they were doing all right for a little while, and then YouTube pulled the rug out from under them. Yeah, they bet the farm on it, I seriously considered opening a vape store way back when here in our town, and because they didn't have one. They had smoke shops, but they didn't have a vape store. And but the the little strip malls and whatnot all wanted way too much rent for what they were and where they were. I mean, our town's not that big, and the economy's not that great. And the math just didn't work. I mean, I actually went and talked to a few of the landlords, and there was several little strip malls, little bitty strip malls, and the buildings had been like they say there's six on the row, and only two of them are open and rented, and the other one's been sitting vacant for I kept up with it. They've been sitting vacant for 6 months or more. You go talk to the guy. Well, I need this much rent. Well, that's a little high, buddy. Would you take this? Oh, no. So you would rather it sit there empty and you pay taxes on it than take a little less on that rent. Okay, it's your building. If you want it to sit vacant and let the cockroaches breed, that's your prerogative. So yeah, that was of course I could always, in the back of my mind, I could always kind of feel that the government was going to end up screwing us over. Yep, I think you did the right thing here, Lewis. Because I could just tell that was something the government was going to stick their finger in eventually. I mean, we could have made some money for a little while, especially if if the rent was right and you run your business right. You could have made some money for a little while, especially back in the days. This was back when you could make your own juice on site, and everything was fine. It was legal, and yeah, you could have made some money for a little while. This is how far back that was. Yeah, they can't do nothing. You can't. You can't do anything anymore legally, anyhow. Which I would have a real hard time doing that. I mean, if I had a good customer that I knew personally, and there wasn't nobody else in the shop, they really wanted, a coil put in. Yeah, we'd put that coil in for them. But I wouldn't do it for just, Joe Blow walking off the street. Might have to do that in the back room, the back room deals. But if I'd have opened one, I would have definitely mixed my own juice. Because it wouldn't have been that hard to make a nice little clean room and mix your own juice and do it on a small scale. Mr. Intense, back in the day, I had friends that would they would want me to do something for them on their car. Of course, they never wanted to pay me. They'd say, "Well, we'll supply the beer." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll supply that vice. I'll sit over here in this lawn chair, and I will point at what part to take off next, and how to take it off, and how to put it back on. But I'm gonna sit here in this lawn chair and drink your beer. But I'll make sure you do it right. But you're gonna supply the labor." But I used to do that. Otherwise, hell, I'd be every damn weekend. I wouldn't be doing nothing but working on other people's cars for free. I didn't mind giving them advice for free, but I wasn't going to work on it for free when there was nothing they were going to ever be able to do for me. You know, that was the whole deal. Yep, Australia, they've got it probably worse than most people do, for sure. Hey, Savage Simon, how you doing, buddy? I checked out your one of your lives the other day, and I looked at your channel a time or two. Somebody here, I forget who it was, recommended you. Thanks for coming in. We're kind of getting pretty close to wrapping up here, but thanks for stopping by. What were we talking about? Oh, it got off on Australia. Yeah, and poor people in Australia, I tell you. Yeah, they got it. They got it bad. They really do. They kind of need a revolution, I think, or something to straighten their stuff back out. Well, I take it Mr. Intense, his name is Andrew. I'll try to remember that. It'll take me about 7 times to remember that. That's what they say. It takes the average person to memorize something. If you do it 7 times, you'll get it. I might be a little long. It might take me about 12 times because I'm old. That's all right, Simon. Hell, we're I like being on a first name basis with people. Oh, did you? I'm sorry. See, I done forgot. I tell you. Now, this is what, 2 times. Okay, so we got at least 5 more times before I'll commit it to memory. I'm telling you, it's hell to get old. But that was something I also never did on any of my YouTube stuff or my Rumble stuff, either one. A lot of people don't even, they think that Bill Bottoms is a whatever the hell you call it. Your what the hell are they called? Your name. The accent you're hearing, Simon, is from Texas. I actually right now I live in Arizona. I'm retired in Arizona, but the accent that you're catching is Texan. But I never had a stage name deal. I mean, my real name is Bill Bottoms. That's my real name. And I never did do a different name or, oh, he's got his show booking hat on. Well, that's cool. That would be a hellacious clash of accents. I'll tell you that much. I don't know how half y'all people understand what I say. I really don't. And one of the deals that caught me off guard one day was I very seldom look at my analytics on YouTube. But one day here, a good while back, I just looked at them just to look. And the majority of views on my YouTube videos I got the vast majority were from Indonesia. And I'm going, what the hell? And I thought about it a little while, and I think maybe it's because I do a lot of clones. Was the reason? I guess maybe clones sell big over there or whatever, but maybe the economy of the country. I don't know. But anyhow, the majority of my views were from Indonesia, and I'm thinking to myself now, surely these people are watching this with the volume turned off just for the pictures, because there's no way in hell they can understand my accent, even if they can understand English. They're gonna have a hard time. Yeah, Andrew. My trouble with the European and the UK people are when they're slang. I won't know the definition of a lot of the slang terms that they use in their common, going back and forth. That's the trouble I have. I can usually understand everything real good. I'm just not familiar with the definition of a particular slang term, or how it's intended to be, used or anything. Well, Simon, are any of these people that are in the chat now, are they any of your regulars on the show? Oh, well, that's cool. I'll have to watch a few more of them. I did notice, to me, maybe it was just me. Well, how you doing, Ivan? Hadn't seen you before. Thanks for coming in. You're welcome. Today we're what are we vaping on? We actually got in a Christmas box from China, and we got this old new sub tank or sub box, and we're vaping on that, and we're trying out this new XRP. It's not new, it's old. All this shit's old. XRP Mech Life. Fallout or whoever made it. I was in the middle of doing videos on those when it got time to come do this live. So that's what we're vaping on today. Fairly happy with both of them. I just got the plain old, the stock coil comes with in this, and it's vaping fine. I like it. Oh, I was going to say, Simon, what few I watched, I think one live and maybe a few of the videos. Now, is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but you look different on the live as on your videos. Is it just me, or is there a difference there? Yeah, see, I have no idea what that means. That's what I was saying earlier. Now I know depending on where you're from over there, I mean, you can be in the same country, but what region is totally a different accent. I do understand that. We have that over here, but it's just more spread out. But we have the same thing, you know. More relaxed on the lives. I don't know if I'm. Well, I guess I'm probably more relaxed because I try to do my reviews. I try not to get off topic. I try to do them fast, even though they end up being a damn hour long, and everybody whines about it. But I try to speed them up a little bit. See, now I wouldn't even attempt to pronounce that, Ivan. I'm sorry. My southern vocabulary will not pronounce that. But I can remember by just watching movies and TV shows that the accent varies quite a bit over there in just a little ways. And it's the same over here, but the regions are just you got southern, you got East Coast, northern East Coast, and there's another real accent in which state is it? Minnesota, I think. Minnesota, Salt Lake, Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah, Minnesota. Up in that area, they have a distinctive accent. No, Ivan, I don't. Right now, I don't vape any tobacco whatsoever. I hadn't in years, and I quit doing the tobacco before the NETs got popular, or before, maybe even before there was even such a thing. But I think somebody always had some NET, but I never tried any, and I got off tobacco flavors years and years ago. Now I tell you what, when I lived in northern Kentucky for a little while, and they had trouble understanding me. But it was more the terms, the slang terms we used for stuff is what they didn't understand. So I would call something this, and they called it that, and so that's where we would have a problem. But now up there, the town I worked at was right on the Ohio River, and that was the state border between Ohio and Illinois. No, Ohio and Kentucky. Yeah, Ohio and Kentucky. And if you cross the bridge, all you had to do is drive across the bridge, and they talked differently on the Ohio side than they did on the Kentucky side. And I mean, that's all you had to do, just drive across the bridge. And I mean, everything was different. Nobody called nothing the same. It blew me away. I'd never experienced that in such a tight spot. The language to change that much by just driving across a bridge. But yeah, but the Kentucky people had a hard time understanding me. I could understand them, but they had a hard time understanding me. I would try to pronounce that Lawhor. would be my best guess. That would be my best guess on that. Lower or lower? What time is it over in the UK at the moment? See, my wife doesn't understand that at all. She doesn't understand how much the accents change over there because 10:45, well, it's not too bad. I was thinking it might have been later than that. That's not too bad. My wife doesn't understand at all, and her accent is worse than mine. Her mama's accent was, oh my God, even I had a hard time understanding her. But she'll be in here playing on her computer, and I'll be watching YouTube videos. Well, I'll pull up Vaping with Vic, and she recognizes who that is by his voice, And then the next video might be from Todd, and she'll say, "Well, why does he talk different?" I said, "Well, he's a different country almost, different part of the country and whatnot." I said, "It really, changes drastically over there." "Well, I just don't see that." And I said, "Well, it does." But she don't quite understand that deal as much, that it changes as much as it does. Of course, all that she ever had to go by was watching was when we watched British comedies. That's all she ever had to go by as far as accents. I had some people the other day at our little open market that I sell my goods in, and they were from I forget now where it was in the UK. I forget the actual province or whatever that they were from, but I could have swore they were from Australia because they to me they had the Australian accent. They didn't have a British accent, and I assume it was because of the whatever little area they were, but I guessed Australian, and they were happy that I said Australian. Well, I was like the first one that I guess noticed it or whatever, but it was that they were tourists and whatnot. I don't know which area sounds the most like Australians, but to me, I can kind of hear a difference in somebody from Australia as most people from the UK. Yeah, Adrian, I still got some egos up there on the shelf. God knows if the battery's still any good in them or not. I think for some reason, I took them all down and charged them here a long time ago. Hell, I don't know if they'd still vape or not. That's what I quit on back in the day, was a CE4 on a little ego battery. And that's what I used to quit smoking. Worked just fine for me. I was happy as I could be. Only problem was you had to have, 2 or 3 of the damn things, 2 of them on charge while he was vaping the other one. So you never would run out, but they work great for me. Am I still going? Says I'm still live. I don't know if there's a time limit on this or not. I think this is the longest we've ever run. Yeah, I never did buy a Nautilus. I went the Kangaroo route way back when. I've always heard those coils were great, and it was a good little tank. It was just, I think I went the Kangaroo route because they were, I think the coils were easier to rebuild, and of course they were cloned to hell and back, and they were cheaper naturally because they were clones. But yeah, I went the Kangaroo route. Of course, it was quite a while before I realized that there was stuff on the internet, a whole vaping community in the world and all that kind of stuff. I'd already went from CE4, that's what I started on, and then went up to a regular Kangaroo Pro Tank, and then after that was when I found the vaping on the internet, and it just went from there. I never went back to the smoke shop that I was buying my stuff from after that. Yeah, I was able to just quit the very first day, no problem. Just laid the cigarettes down, picked up the vape. I mean, it was 24 mil, or 24 Nick, and hell, that was plenty, and I was just happy as I could be. And even back then, it was some kind of menthol tobacco flavor when I smoked Marlboro menthols. So, to me, everything was the same. Same amount of nicks, same taste, same hand action. Didn't have no problem at all. And I think I started mixing my own juice before I actually got way off into the hobby part of the deal of, for tanks and mods and all that, because our local little old smoke shops here. Well, hell, you go down and buy a little 15 ml bottle of juice. You go back, next week to get another bottle. Well, they're out. Well, when are you going to get some more? Well, we don't know. We got to order some. Da 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 da. Well, that's when I got on the internet and found out, hell, I mix this shit myself. And then kind of never looked back. Yeah, I can't even. It bothers me now to be around smokers. Used to when you smoked, you didn't even notice it. Now I can smell it 3 blocks away. It's the only bad part about nowadays going to the casino, because it's one of the few places here in the U.S. that you can still smoke inside. And you come home, your clothes smell like cigarettes, and everything smells like cigarettes. And used to didn't notice that at all. I think I'm going on 10 years now, something like that. Been so long I forgot. I can look it up. I remember the day though, because that particular day I had to. I had an appearance on a local cable TV network show that it was a cooking show is what it was. But what they would do is you would go on there and you would cook this dish. It was your choice, whatever dish you wanted to cook, but you could promote other things. You would have something you were promoting while you were cooking. Okay, that was the format. And I was promoting the books that I had wrote, and I remember that was the day, and I can look it up on the video to see what day that video was shot. And all it did was go out on local cable. But it was that day. I remember that. And I thought to myself, I picked a hell of a day to quit smoking, because I was a little bit nervous because I'd never actually been on TV before. So that was a little different. Well, thanks for stopping by, Simon. Have a good night, buddy. We're fixing to get out of here ourselves, because we've been rambling on now for almost 2 hours. And it's about time for my 3 o'clock coffee. Yeah, after you've been vaping for about 10 years or so, you might could start saying that you're still alive because of that. When you, especially now, I mean, it won't be that much longer. A lot of us will be done by 15 years and 20 years. And, if you've been smoking all that time, the odds are against you that you'd still be around kicking. So, once you just, been doing it this long, I'm just glad it appears for me, because I smoked for a long time, probably 30 years. And I'm just glad that it appears as I hadn't done any irreversible damage, for smoking that long, because nothing in the last 10 years has, it's all gotten better. Nothing's gotten worse or went downhill or nothing like that as far as, related to smoking. So, but I mean, there is a point of no return, I think, once you've smoked for so long, and if you're so old, if you've already done, way too much damage. I think there's a point in no return. I'm, sorry to say that, but I believe there is. Now, quitting smoking and vaping might extend you a little while, but if there's been some real severe damage done, I don't know that, there's got to be a point it won't correct itself. I think, just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on YouTube, but that's what I think. Well, guys, we've been on here about 2 hours now, so I think it's time to call it quits for this time around. And I'm going to get me a little coffee, afternoon snack, and then I'll get back to making all these videos. So I want to thank everybody for coming in, having a chat, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you come back and see us next week. We're still going to try to do this every Wednesday at 1 o'clock my time. So this week was iffy because they had a real bad thunderstorm over in the valley where my internet provider's equipment is, and the internet was on and off all weekend long. But they finally straightened it up yesterday, so we were able to do it. I mean, I'd have tried to do the live on my phone if my internet was screwed. So, got to remember, we're out here in the middle of the desert. We're lucky to have running water and electricity. So, but thank everybody for coming by, and we'll see you next week.